Okay, good morning. I look half asleep because I am. Ever since I got my gorgeous little GoPro, I've been thinking about doing, I look so tired, a video of my commute. And last night, cycling home, I had stayed out in town a little bit. Had a really close shave, a brush for death basically, all because a car just did not give way. Came within inches of hitting me. No harm done, but I pulled over to stop because I was so shaken, and the double-decker bus that was behind me, I couldn't slam on my brakes because there was a bus there, actually pulled over next to me, opened his doors and said, "Are you alright?" It was so annoying and so frustrating. And yeah, so I've been doing this commute more or less the same route for about the past 5 years. I've got a different job now, but I've been temping for the last 3 or 4 months. There's some roadworks on the way. There's a couple of accident black spots, but I want to kind of also show you. I'm going to tell you now there are going to be loads and loads of cars parked illegally, acting illegally, and I just want to show you what it's like on a normal commute. Okay, so obviously I'm not going to show you where I live exactly, but it's near Lark Lane. So I've started the video by Keith's and the Albert, two well-known local landmarks. It's not too bad here this morning. It can get a lot busier, it can be double parked along here a lot. Overnight there's loads of taxis, it can be a bit annoying, but I might do a nighttime one soon. But this junction can be a bit hairy, not everyone gives way to you. But here we go, here's our first infractions. Those parked cars should not be there, they're quite obviously double yellow lines. So that's created a bottleneck and cars are having to squeeze past each other, and I'm having to squeeze past them. And then this is Sefton Park. This is one of only, I think, 3 zebra crossings around the park that I can think of. It's 2.5 mile perimeter. There's only 3 places you can safely cross. And I've sped this bit up now because it's a bit boring. There's cars parked there on the left. When there's a gap, there's no way I'm moving into that because it's stupid. I don't want to weave in and out of parked cars, but also, as you can see, it's filthy. It's got really wet leaves there that are dead slippy. And I don't think really there are that many close passes on this ride. They don't really bother me too much. Mostly if there's no cars coming the other way, cars will give me the full lane. I take pretty much primary position. That looked like a close pass, but honestly it didn't bother me. I am a bit immune to close passes because they're only really dangerous if something goes wrong, I have to swerve or something like that. I am keeping away from the parked cars as well, because one thing that's going to happen is I'm never ever going to get doored because that's just stupid, right? So this bit now is a bike lane, and some people say that just painted bike lanes are worse than nothing. They can be, and sometimes when the traffic's moving fast, people don't give you a lot of space. But this does seem to prevent people from parking there because there's a school there on the left, Belvedere. But you will see there's a taxi parked in it, and I did have to swerve around. There was a school minibus parked there once. I had to go around it. One of the cars on my right opened the passenger door to let a girl out, so I had to stop really quickly. Didn't hit the door, but I did fall off and got scratched. And that's the other risk as well, is people keep coming across the road through the waiting cars. Not easy to see. And now I'm going to speed this up. I'm zooming in here. Another problem is this is parents. There's nothing to stop people here from dropping the kids off on the left. So you'll see in a minute. I'm going to zoom in, and that creates massive tailbacks and bottlenecks there. And so quite often, not too bad this morning, but quite often, the cars, when the lights change, you can't still go and get across this junction because there's such a big tailback. If the school bus is dropping off at the same time as well. But yeah, you'll see there, they're not meant to be stopped there. I'm just dropping the kids off at school. Okay, so we're off again, speeding it up. Quite obviously, I'm not that fast at the moment. I'm really out of shape. This is a nice little bit leading into Prince's Park. There's quite often film crews here. I think they film Peaky Blinders, maybe something else. Yeah, so there's quite often something interesting to see there. You don't see much of the park from here, but it is a nice little traffic free route. That is a horrible bit. That is a really, really rough bit of surface there. It's really nice, not nice doing that on skinny wheels. In a minute you're going to see I get overtaken here twice. Sometimes if I'm feeling up for it, I do go hell for leather. Yeah, and usually if someone overtakes me I chase them, but that's another woman. It just doesn't bother me when it's another woman, so I'll let her go. But it did actually dent my pride a little bit, because you'll see in a second I actually get overtaken by, any second now, a Brompton. So I'm obviously not doing too well today. Now this bit, I'm going to slow down in a second. This is the roundabout. It's such an accident black spot. It's been renovated recently. They spent a lot of money a couple of years ago on this, and it is terrible. You'll see now there's 2 lanes of traffic. There's about 5 exits on it, and the traffic coming from my right there's 2 lanes, and most of it actually makes a right turn where I'm going, but some of it just goes straight ahead, and they don't indicate either way. And a lot of cyclists will just assume everyone's turning is going this way, the way I'm going, and will just join the traffic without giving way. And then I think that's when accidents happen, because they're actually going straight across. Right, so yeah, there's Roadworks here because they're building us a bike lane, and they're going to do some improvements to this boulevard bit. This is Princess Road, and yeah, I'm taking the Roadworks. I saw there's a Facebook group about it, and some cyclists complained that they hadn't made left enough space for cars and cyclists, so they said they were going to move the cones over. But the thing is with cars is if you just give them more space, they'll just fill it, so it's not always really enough space for me to squeeze past on the right side of the cones, or like the correct side of the cones. So this is what I've been doing this, and it's great actually. I wish they just leave them. I wish the cars would always go at about 5 miles an hour, and I wish I always had a clear run like this. What I normally do is I normally take that left hand lane, and I normally take the lane, which means I ride pretty much centre of it. I have to, because the potholes are so bad. I'm not exaggerating. The potholes, some of them are deadly. When it's raining, obviously you can't tell which puddles are shallow and which ones are deep and will swallow your front wheel. As we come up to this junction here, they were meant to be blocking this off. The point of this renovation was to block this off and make one continuous bike lane, but the local residents didn't want that. I'm pretty sure I slow it down now. I've slowed this video right down. I'm pretty sure at least one of those cars jumps the red light there, because that light just changed to amber and there were still cars moving. But cyclists, only ever cyclists that do that, according to ranty gammon-headed Facebook commentators. So yeah, this is not what it's normally like, but I am normally going the same speed or faster, and there's never usually too much traffic here until you get to these lights. I think the cars generally can get through these lights first or second go, so it's not that bad. This bit is a bit weird at the minute. They put some temporary lights in. So yeah, I had to improvise here. I've not done this before, so I kind of went around the car a bit. There's a synagogue on the right. It's a really nice road, this. It's got really nice, well, it's not the most salubrious of areas, but it's beautiful architecture, beautiful houses. The Roadworks. Greek Orthodox Church on the left. And this is where it goes back to normal now, so I'm usually in the left hand lane there, which is really potholy, and then I've got the option. I never go along the parked cars along the gutter because there's too many potholes. Most of the cyclists do, a lot of the cyclists do, so usually go this way or completely around the cars if there's no space. And then technically I jump this red light because I want to get as far ahead of them parked cars as I can, because when the lights change, it's like a shotgun goes off and they're right up my arse, so I want a bit of distance between them and me. I don't agree with these advanced stop lines. Sped this bit up, obviously. And off I go again. That was a close pass, I've got to say, and there was no need for it at all, because he could have stayed in that lane. It was empty. That white car wasn't too close behind him. Yeah, that annoyed me. After this next set of lights is the bit where I had the close shave with ice. I'll come to that in a minute. This is Catherine Street. Again, I take the lane here because look, the traffic isn't that heavy. The cars can, and the vans and the minibuses can just take that outside lane. I'm not slowing anyone down or holding anyone up. Yeah, some cars do want to turn left here, but you can just wait. So yeah, so this bit now, in a bit I need to get over to the right. I'm turning right in a minute, and the potholes here are really bad, so and the divots there and that bus stop are terrible, they're really deep. So I am cycling and I am trying to look for potholes, and I'm also trying to look over my shoulder to see if the way is clear, and it is. Got a shout out for the Caledonia pub on the next corner, my fave. So yeah, it's not too heavy. There's usually, I forgot to have a look, there's usually cars parked outside the Cali and outside the shops there on double yellows, on the zigzags, don't know. And here's where I was coming the other way. I'm going now. Yes, much proper. And where that white car's just come out now, it didn't give way to me. It happens all the goddamn time. This is an interesting little bit as well. It's a bike lane. It's terrible. It's contraflow, so cars come towards you, vans come towards you, double-decker buses come towards you, totally encroaching. And then, as you see, like it's really busy with students, and they just wander off the curb, and they don't look, and they just step out, look nearly in front of you all the time. They always have headphones in. So as bike lanes go, you have to really be on your guard, and then it just stops here. Look, stop. And it just, this bit is so bad for potholes. I had to report one, and fair play to them, fair play to the council. They did get it fixed, but there was a pothole so deep it would have swallowed my wheel. And here's another parked car on double yellow lines and on the pavement, and I looked and it didn't have a disabled badge in it. And this is the one that pisses me off the worst, is this one parked here on the corner, on the zigzags, blocking my way. Usually you see a lot of, even though we're right behind the pedestrian crossing there, students cross at that corner, because why would you walk out your way? But yeah, they just cars do what they want. There's usually cars parked here as well. Right, this, not this, but the next set of lights, I waited these lights and I timed it, and I waited a full minute. I'll get it till I get there, you'll see what I mean. Now my office actually looks out onto this junction, and I hate it, and I have to do it every day. It doesn't work. Right, so we go on red and I stop. Now those pedestrians are crossing on the red man. I wait here a full minute, and I think the pedestrians have to wait a bit longer than that, because they have to wait for every single cycle, you know, every junction to change. Every cars come from every direction before they can go. And I know a minute doesn't sound like a very long time, but my total commute is only about 15 minutes, so it's actually a big chunk of it. And when it's raining and when it's cold outside, to stand still for a full minute waiting, well, you know, it's annoying. It's not optimum. I don't think you should have to wait for more than about 15 seconds really. And also, okay, so I don't jump red lights in general, I just don't do it. But people go pink in the face complaining, oh, cyclists, they always run red lights. Now to that I would say to them, when you're waiting at a pedestrian crossing and there's not a car, there's no cars coming at all, do you wait for the green man? Or do you stand on the curb like an idiot waiting for the green man? Or do you go? You go? Because you're not going to just stand there getting wet. So that's why most cyclists run red lights. I could go on for about 2 hours about running red lights, but luckily this is where I work on the right now. That's the end of the video, and I spare you a rant. Thanks for watching.